Well. We've had local elections, and what a shocking turn of events. Who would have seen this coming, hey? Well, guys, okay, so I'm going to break it down to you. Break it down in simple steps, pretty much. Reform UK kind of absolutely smashed the Tories backdoor in without using lubrication, and not only that, they've pretty much took Labour for a run around the block and told them where to stick it where the sun doesn't shine. That's effectively what's happened in local elections. It is important to just note, though, guys, okay, this doesn't necessarily mean that Reform UK have got overall control and power over the UK. A lot of people out there, for some weird reason, think this is like a national election and that they're now in charge of the country. They are not. It does, however, give them more power. Just a quick FYI before I do continue, actually, I'm impartial. I don't care which particular, power is in power, if that makes sense. I'm just reading what I see and telling you what I see, basically. Take from that what you will. A lot of people don't necessarily like it, but then again, I don't really give a damn. Anywho, so yeah, they had an absolute stomping performance, didn't they? So, local elections, at a glance, what's happened? It was a knife edge in Runcorn on the by-election. Reform UK won its first parliamentary seat by taking Runcorn and Helsby from Labour by just 6 votes after a recount. 6 votes. I mean, that's talking about very, very close for comfort, isn't it? Reform candidate Sarah Ponchin, if that's wrong, I do apologise, got 38.7% of the vote, and the Conservatives came a distant third, with the Green Party in fourth. The first Reform mayors, now this one is a shocking one, guys, actually. It's so shocking I can't breathe. Reform won its first mayoral contest. That sounds a bit dodgy. With former Tory MP Dame Andrea Jenkins. Now, she was a Tory, and a very bad one at that, actually. She got 42% of the vote in Greater Lincolnshire, a long way ahead of the Conservative candidate, who got 26%. Now, I live in the Greater Lincolnshire area, and I'm proud to be from Lincolnshire. However, I don't know how this is going to go, and the reason I'm saying this is because this lady made a certain comment, which if I would have made this comment, I would have been immediately shot down on this channel and called a racist. I am going to try and find you the clip it, and if I can find it, I'll insert it. If not, I will pop a picture on the screen for you guys now as to what she said.
The rebuilding begins here. Now, Britain, we're going to have a Britain where we put British people first, where we put you and your families first. We make sure that you are in front of the queue and you are at the heart of our policy decisions. Today, we as Reform, as we're making gains up and down the country, you will see an end to soft-touch Britain. The fight back to save the heart and soul of our great country has now begun. Now that Reform is in a place of power, we can help start rebuilding Britain. Inch by inch, Reform will reset Britain to its glorious past. We will tackle illegal migration. We've been working on policies. I say no to putting people in hotels. Tents are good enough for France. They should be good enough for here in Britain.
Yep. That's right. She turned around and said basically that the legal migration, if it's okay for the French to use tents to house them in, why is it not okay for the UK to do the same? Oh, now, whatever you may think of that, that is her words, not mine. Personally, I'm blown away by that. I'd love to know what your thoughts are, as per usual. Please do let me know. But is this a sign of Reform's old racist tendencies that they were, told that they had and they had to tone down? Nigel Farage has been coming on quite regularly strong, saying that, the party has changed and that they're better, they do things differently. But is the old methodology creeping back in, or is it just simply something that needed to be said that people don't want to hear? Is it those on the far left that don't like the certain words of Nigel Farage? I don't know personally. I honestly don't know. But yeah, that one was a bit of a shocker, to be fair, and a lot of people have been speaking about it. And again, I'd love your comments down below. The party also gained its second mayor in Hull and East Yorkshire, where former boxer Luke Campbell got 36% of the vote, beating Liberal Democrats into second place. Luke's been commented as saying, I got them on the second knockout round, and I did very, very well. It's well done to you, Luke. Labour hold a trio of mayoral contests. In North Tyneside, Labour held majority by just 444 votes. It was also a tight result in Doncaster, with Labour clinching victory over Reform by 698 votes. Labour also held on in the West of England contest with a majority of 5,949, as the Tories were pushed into fourth place behind Reform and the Greens. But the party saw its share of the vote fall quite substantially, as Reform came a close second in all three races. Labour also lost a majority in Cambridgeshire and Peterborough to the Conservatives, a rare bright spot for the Tories. The biggest, obviously, news is Reform making council gains. They've made big gains in council seats across England and picked up more than 650 seats. The Conservatives have lost more than 650 seats, and Labour, which was defending fewer seats, is down by more than 180. So the red and the blue wall basically has just been absolutely smashed, For the first time, Reform UK has won control of councils, so they're now in charge of Derbyshire, Durham, Kent, Lancashire, Lincolnshire, Nottinghamshire and Staffordshire. All except Durham were taken from the Conservatives. It's made gains in Devon, Cornwall, Leicestershire, Warwickshire, Worcestershire and Northumberland, areas where no party holds the balance of power. And of course, there was a few Lib Dem wins as well. We have to mention those. They got gains in Devon, Cornwall, Hertfordshire, Gloucestershire and Wiltshire. But where does this go, basically? Where does it go from here? Is this all because that Labour lied themselves into power? And, I'm not going to beat about the bush. I'll tell you as it is and how I see it. I think Labour lied. They not only abused the farmers, they took the absolute biscuit out of pensioners. Then they're attacking the disabled and those on benefits. You're targeting a group of people, which is the majority of the country. What was you expecting was going to happen? I mean, come on. Logic would dictate if you're going to pee off a lot of people, there's a good chance it's going to come back and bite you in the backside. Which, in this instance, guys, I'm afraid to say, Labour, it has. What will happen? What will be moving forward? We look forward to the future to see what does happen. Will there be massive changes? Will there be a flip now and a change in terms of the immigration policies in certain parts of the country? Probably not, because, like I've said, Reform does not have overall control of the UK. The policies are still being made by the Labour government. So I'm afraid no matter how many people do stand by the side of Reform, and it's not to have a go at them in any way, just bear in mind they do not have overall control and power. But is it a sign of things to come? Will Nigel Farage be our Prime Minister in the next couple of years? Or will he step back for a younger, fitter model? No offence, Nigel. Sorry, you are a bit odd. But on that note, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think down below. Love your comments, all the negative ones as well. I appreciate it because I do get to use it in a video in the future called Idiot of the Week. So please do keep them coming if you wish. It gives me more content to make for you guys. On that note, ciao for now. Happy weekend. See you later.